Hello everybody, Ewan Spence here for All About Windows Phone. Welcome to our video diary, taking a first look experience at the Nokia 800 Windows Phone device. I'm here at Los Angeles to attend the Blog World and New Media Podcast Expo here at the Staples Center, which is strange enough sponsored by Nokia. And we're going to put this little thing through its paces in a hostile Wi-Fi and 3G environment. There's an AT&T SIM in here. We're going to be around hundreds of other devices from bloggers, podcasters, reporters, writers, journalists, and people involved in social media. And we're going to see how well this gets on. Leave the laptop at home. Leave all the other little bits and pieces. Can the Nokia 800 do what we need it to do? Let's find out. Yes, hello everybody, Ewan Spence here for All About Windows Phone. Here in Los Angeles, made it, at the Westin Bonaventure Hotel, about to head into the convention centre that's holding Blog World. And how did the Nokia 800 do on the flight over Edinburgh to London to Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles into LA downtown, which is about another 20 miles and took about another hour and a half. Okay, look, I did cheat a little bit, I will be completely fair here. I didn't use it at all on the Edinburgh-London leg, partly because it was 7:30 in the morning and I was tired and I just slept through it, but also I did want to have because I don't know what the battery life is and I have to use a micro SIM. My American is now micro SIM. Yes, I could use an adapter to put that in another phone, but they are not 100% reliable. So I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of reserve left when I got here. In actual fact, I didn't need to. Using it from about an hour before I got on the flight in London, through that 11.5-hour flight and to curbside, that took about 55% of the battery life. I mean, it was wonderful done. I've done some calculations. If I put on the Edinburgh leg as well, I would have used 70% of the battery life and left myself 30% when I got curbside at Los Angeles International. From that point, checking emails, webs, maps, navigation, usual stuff to get into the hotel, Foursquare check-ins and thing, that took about another 12% of the battery power, using the indicator that's there in the battery saver mode. So in answer to the question right at the top of the video, can this get me from my house to the hotel in America and keep me entertained along the way? The answer is a very solid yes. And I will be using it all the way through. One point of note, I didn't use the battery saver mode. I was leaving this in full power mode, but obviously I went into airplane mode, so the radio circuit was off while I was on the plane, not only because it's safety, it saves a little bit of that battery power as well. There's certainly slightly less confidence because it was my first flight. What I'm like on the flight home will be interesting to see now that I do know I can get home, and of course I don't need to have that spare capacity at the end. So, what I was primarily using it for, the music player, and the video player, and a bit of gaming, and the Amazon Kindle reader. To be fair, I do have an affinity with Windows Phone. I know what's going on with this device, so when there's something that I wanted to do, I could just go straight to it. The interesting thing for many people is, which music player do you use? I mean, Nokia Music, and you have the built-in Zune app. Nokia Music isn't quite everything it was advertised. The mix radio is there, but the ability to download a mix and listen to it offline will be coming in an update over the next couple of weeks. So while that's great on the ground at home in your office, it's not something that you can use in the air. I'll be looking at that in more depth in an article on All About Windows Phone when I get back, and we'll let you know how that copes. Again, the other bits and pieces that were in the music store, again, we'll look at that later. The Gig Finder, really need Gig Finder at the moment. But Nokia Music does give you that window onto your music as well. When you click it, it takes you to a subset of the Zune Music application, your artist albums and playlists view. Interestingly, Nokia Music doesn't let you jump to your podcast. You have to go into the Zune Music app directly to do that. Otherwise, you can't get the menu option coming up. And given that I was listening to some podcasts while I was out there, including our All About Windows Phone podcast, then that was a reason for jumping in. That might cause confusion to new people. They go, where is the podcast support in Nokia Music? It's not, it's in Zune. What I've always said about the Zune interface, though, in terms of music playing with your album covers, sweeping around and all of that, is that it makes music fun. You want to actually have a go around, bounce around, and play around with the device, and actually see how you get on with music. I mean, when you actually look at it, you know, you're going through, you've got lovely sweepy album covers. You can dump it, for example, as Friday Night Comedy podcast. You know, swing back through the albums, bouncing around. So, for example, if I take let's just take any album. Let's take Mike Oldfield for example. You know, you get the amp there, you get the song, you can play it, you can find the rest of them, you can bounce through, you can go back up and come back to it. It just, you're drawn into playing around and sliding with the interface. That sliding in the interface isn't always there in Nokia Music, but it is there in Zune. But couple that sense of playfulness with this lovely tactile. I have to say, the more I'm using it, the more it just feels great. The screen with it, just the edges just blend away into the chassis is a lovely piece of design. The slight beveling at the edges, it feels wonderful. You have an experience that makes you want to go whoa and do magic things and swing tiles and menus and pivots and screens around. It really makes it fun, and it is a winning combination. Music is not played on a spreadsheet like it is on other portable music devices. The podcast support is better, mostly though because you have a PC side client in Zune, and you can subscribe on the device, but all my podcasting, because I've got multiple devices, it's always done through the PC and the music syncs over, and Zune handles that nicely. The video support, yes, you have to transcode through Zune, so you need a bit of planning. You can't just go, oh, on that file, drag it over. You need to do that. That probably needs a full article and tutorial as well, so we'll do that at a later date. Nevertheless, it's nice to say that I managed to watch Carry On Up the Khyber and an episode of Hustle on the plane quite happily on the device. And in terms of, you know, it doesn't have a stand. I can put my headphones case just behind it on a bit of a felt surface, and it just sits like that, and you get a nice angle. But it's really comfy to hold. You just stick it there and yeah, you hold it. I do have some issues. The wonderful design of the slip case, the little bumper case that goes on, it actually wraps over. Actually, I think I should just have that here. We can just stick that through. You see that the edges of the rubber are very close to the headphone socket. My headphones that I like to do, they actually have a slight bevel bump, which is wider than the rubber case, which means that you can't get a full fit. You know, if I do that, it's not making a complete impact into the device. So I've had to take the rubber slip case off so I can use my headphones as opposed to the built-in ones. Now, I thought I'd found a solution. I thought I had been really smart because I brought over the Nokia Media converter. In actual fact, it's my travel bag all the time, which just has a small one. And while it does fit, none of the controls actually work, and you get degraded audio quality because the through circuits aren't working correctly. This is one of the few Nokia handsets where you can't use the media controller. They were in a rush to get this device out in October, so I will give them a pass on this one. But the next device, I'd really like that media controller to work again. The other delight I was having on here is Kindle. Kindle hasn't been available on Symbian, which has been my weapon of choice. I've been using an ebook from MobiPocket, which is good up to a point, but you can't get new releases, you can't get extra stuff. And Kindle is a really good ecosystem as long as you're happy to pay the same price for your Kindle book as you are for a printed book. I've done that for a couple of books, specifically, strangely enough, Where Eagles Dare, because even though I have a print copy of it, I know that I'm going to be reading over and over again. So I gave it and bought it on Amazon, and it's available on all the books. We've also got a lovely short steampunk story that I was reading on the plane, and I have to say this is really, really nice when you get it onto the I've got it into the sort of sepia mode. Let me just have a look at that. It's such a gentle reading experience. The phone, you don't notice the weight of the phone. It's a little slide just to move you on page by page. Gives you a lovely reading experience. No strain at all in the eye. You've got choice of font sizes and everything. The Amazon Kindle on Windows Phone is probably going to be one of those unsung applications, but it does work, and it is really, really nice. So I probably did maybe about an hour or so's reading on the flight, about an hour and a half of video work, and all the time the music was playing, apart from the bit at takeoff. So going into the plane, switch off for half an hour while it gets up into the sky, fly over, switch off the half hour, coming into there. There was a bit of battery left in reserve, which was nice, and there was still enough there for me to do all the internet data stuff on the line when I got to the hotel. Now, that's important because you don't have a replaceable battery on the N800. You have to have something like a third-party battery extender. I do carry one, so if I'd got into dire straits, we could have powered it up with the Pro port, and that just goes in through the USB socket. But it wasn't needed. Given back in May, I did a London to New York flight with the HTC Trophy, which I have here as a spare just in case something goes wrong. That only lasted about 3.5-4 hours in the air. It got me as far as Iceland. Whoops. This one, you know, the 800 really came through. It surprised me with how much extra battery power it had. It surprised me that I did manage to get all the way to the hotel, and it just works. I mean, that's fine. I mean, obviously this is straight out of the box. I've had it now less than 36 hours, but already the confidence that I'd had when I'd seen it at launch and had to play with it in Nokia World, having now got it and used it, brilliant. It just goes. Which means I'm really looking forward to see how it gets on today. Today I'm going on to the show for Blog World, so there's going to be lots of Twittering, Facebooking, social networking, some appointments, contact stuff and everything, and diary management. So what's it like interacting with all the social networks? Yes, I know we have the People Hub, and it's not going to be hugely different to the HTC Trophy, but at the same time, Zoom Music isn't hugely different on this as it is to the HTC Trophy, yet it's far more fun to use this because of the screen, because of the brightness, because of the construction, because of the tactile nature. So I'm ready to be surprised again. And my mindset is, I think I'm going to be surprised in a good way, which can only be a good thing for the 800. Now, you can always leave me comments, questions, what you want me to check out and everything. I'm not ripping it apart to see if there's an NFC chip hidden inside it. I'm not going to do anything silly because I'm only on an AT&T pay-as-you-go SIM contract, which immediately gives me 500 meg of data, but I've already been in America this month, so I've only got about 300 meg left. But you can leave your comments at allaboutwindowsphone.com. You can reach me directly, twitter.com/Ewan, and if you're a Blog World itself, I'm the one wearing a kilt. Come over, say hi, and get your picture taken with the phone as well. It makes it sound like some sort of Hollywood star, which is fine because Hollywood's that way. Blog World's that way. Bye-bye. Right, you've missed the point of an unboxing. Yeah, point of an unboxing is not to actually give any useful information whatsoever. The point of an unboxing is to tell every other website out there that we have the phone and they don't. Because that way we can get more content and people will come to us instead of going to those other websites. Even though those websites probably have the phone a day after us and they do their own unboxing video to say that they have the phone and then they carry on that way. Got it? Got it? Right, see, there's no point. Unboxings don't do anything. Everybody knows you get a USB cable in with the device. Everybody will read in the review, oh, you get a case. You don't need to see the case come out of the box to understand it. All you need to know is that there's the phone in the box. You've got the questions about the phone. Nobody cares really about the box, apart from you. Also the screen. I mean, if you look at it, it's slightly bezeled up. It's got a lovely curved glass. And it reminds me of something. It took me a while to work out what it was. It reminds me of those little vinyl bumper stickers you used to get in Smash Hits magazine, where you got a little sticker of Rick Astley that you could kind of have a little bubble effect on it. Are you humming Never Gonna Give You Up? Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.